In the late 1840s, news of gold buried in California's rivers spread across oceans. By 1849, a flood of people rushed westward: Europeans, Americans from the east, and thousands of Chinese from Guangdong. These Chinese migrants called California Gold Mountain. They sold their homes, borrowed from family, and boarded ships into a land they had never seen, risking everything for a better life. But America was not ready to welcome them with open arms. Sure, they were allowed to work, and work they did. They panned rivers, broke rocks, cooked meals, washed clothes. They took the jobs nobody else wanted. And when the gold rush faded, they laid the tracks that stitched a continent together. By the time the final spike of the Transcontinental Railroad was hammered in 1869, Chinese workers had done much of the back-breaking labor, but their faces did not appear in the photos. America wanted their hands, not their stories. Worse came in 1882, when the United States government passed the Chinese Exclusion Act, the first law in American history to ban immigration based solely on race. And still, Chinese immigrants stayed, endured, and built communities in cities like San Francisco, even when their homeland was falling apart. Because back in China, things were far worse. While the West was chasing gold and building railroads, China was bleeding from within. In the 1850s, the Taiping Rebellion erupted, a civil war so brutal it left over 20 million dead. All while foreign powers carved away pieces of Chinese land, claiming ports, demanding silver, and humiliating the Qing dynasty. China tried to fight back with modern shipyards, foreign advisors, and a few reforms. But it was too little, too late. In 1895, Japan, once seen by China as a younger sibling, defeated it in war, taking Taiwan and showing the world that Asia had a new leader. Back in America, cities were exploding with factories and telegraphs. Immigrants poured in from Europe, and despite the discrimination, the Chinese who stayed helped build Chinatowns, started businesses, and raised families in a country that had tried to shut its doors. Then, in 1911, China's old empire finally collapsed. After more than 2,000 years of imperial rule, a revolution led by Sun Yat-sen brought the Qing dynasty to an end. The Republic of China was born, a spark of hope. But that spark dimmed fast. Warlords took control of provinces. Assassinations, betrayals, shifting power plays, the dream of unity turned into a nightmare of division. As China struggled to find itself, America entered the Roaring '20s, booming with jazz, industry, and electric lights. The world was racing ahead, and China was stuck between past and future. Meanwhile, Japan watched from across the sea, modernized, industrialized, and quietly preparing for something bigger. But that storm has not come yet, not in this chapter. In the Age of Gold, one country pulled strangers in. The other watched its people leave, desperate for hope.